Hello, folks. We're looking at a little bouquet of flowers, a little weed that my HOA does not like. But let me tell you something about weeds that the HOA doesn't know. See this long taproot about the weed? This weed is telling me that my soil is very compacted. Okay? This type of weed with this long taproot is called a decompactor. It basically seeks to improve your soil. Yeah, most people will put Roundup on it and kill it, or some other, I don't know, it's not Roundup, it's some other herbicide that they dump on their lawns. That's not good for anybody, pets, humans, or the weeds. But anyway, this weed tells me that I have very compacted soil, and I know that, but it's just, this is what it tells you. There are other weeds that have these root systems that are like little webs. Those usually come out in areas where you have soil that is sandy, and what those weeds attempt to do is basically keep the soil from eroding away. See, soil doesn't like to be disturbed or doesn't like to be exposed to the sun, because the sun basically dries it out, turns it into dust, and blows it away, and you end up with no topsoil. So soil naturally tries to basically cover itself, and one way that happens is with weeds. Weeds are not necessarily the evil that every HOA makes them out to be. They are there for a purpose. Most people don't understand the purpose of weeds, and they just kill them. Now, what to do with the grass here? You can see my grass is pretty dry after 5 months of no rain. To be frank, I haven't watered it in 3 years. My neighbor's grasses look really nice because they have watered it consistently. I don't really care for grass too much, although I may improve it next year. Right now it's a little late in the season to improve it. But I take all my weeds, I pluck them out by hand. And in years when we have rain more or less every once a month, my grass is just as green as anybody else's grass. It just happens that this year we went for about 6 months without rain, and it just dried out. But what I do is that I try to put compost on my grass. See that black spot there? That's all compost that I dumped last winter, and that makes the soil a little bit better. But ultimately, grass is real thirsty, and it needs a lot of water, and that's why I don't like it, because it's real resource intensive and doesn't produce anything. Oh, by the way, these little weeds, I'm noticing, see how self-correcting nature is. These little weeds, one of the reasons I don't like to put pesticides on weeds like this is because these little weeds are the bees' last source of nectar for the winter. I see the bees all over these little flowers, and they come and they take nectar from it. I also see a lot of, by these weeds, I see a lot of little rabbit pellets. Well, what do you think is happening? You know, nature is very smart, a lot smarter than us or than the stupid HOA. And basically, what these weeds are doing, they're attracting life. All right, they're attracting life. What happens is that the rabbit comes here, they poop, that creates organic matter for the soil, for the little worms. Basically, this weed is attracting an animal that fertilizes the soil. Basically, the weed is, through a very slow process but surely, improving the soil by naturally fertilizing it. I just thought I'd run that by you, because everywhere I go I see little rabbit pellets next to these little plants, and I just started wondering, well, this is very smart of nature, you know. Who would have thought? Nature getting things right. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Until next time. One thing that I forgot to mention is that these weeds with long taproots, like in the case of this one, it already flowered and it's getting ready to die. So when I pull it out, it breaks off very easily. See, there's hardly any roots on it. What does that mean? It means that in addition to putting on a taproot that's deep to decompact the soil, it is also leaving behind this root for the benefit of the soil. It's basically adding a little mulch to the soil, if you will. So they do serve a function, these weeds, We just don't always see it. Thanks for watching.